From Dumbledore to Numenor, nerds are passionate about a lot of things, but there's one thing they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is Actually. Joining us today, we have Brian Murphy.
Hello.
We have Amy Vorpahl.
Hi guys, I'm very excited to be making excellent internet content for you.
And we're excited to have you. And we have Matt Mercer.
Hi, medication's almost kicked in.
Great, well, you are all here to play Actually. If you haven't played before, the rules are pretty simple. I have here a stack of statements. These are false statements about the franchises nearest and dearest to your hearts, or if not to your hearts, to some rabid fan base somewhere. It's up to you to identify the thing that is wrong with it, buzz in, and correct me. Now, there's only two rules. One is all corrections must be preceded with the phrase, actually. If you don't say actually, you won't get a point. And the second is you can interrupt me at any time. You don't need to wait for me to finish my point. The important thing is that you prove that you know more than me and that you're a better person than me because of it by interrupting me when you want. Our first question is about Dungeons & Dragons. Well, for most people, the distinction between a wizard and a sorcerer may seem trivial. For the players of Dungeons & Dragons, the difference couldn't be more stark. While they both rely on intelligence to determine the potency... Matt.
Actually, sorcerers rely on charisma for their spell casting.
That's correct. That was one where everyone knew the answer. It's just, that's Mercer rolling in. I love the idea of being like good around people lets you cast spells.
Or
They're
being,
hot.
or just
Sorcerers are
being
hot.
pretty.
Yeah.
My beauty gives you knives in your face.
I fully believe it's purely based on the fact that in the 80s and 90s, everyone thought charisma was a dumb stat in D&D. Designers were like, yeah? Oh yeah? Have a sorcerer!
This guy's so charismatic he can pull a bunny out of his hair. All right, we're gonna move on to our second prompt here. This is about Game of Thrones.
Fuck yeah.
Westeros has a tradition of naming children born out of wedlock after a geographical feature of their homeland. The use of these surnames is based on the acknowledgement of the parents, so bastards such as Gendry are barred from having a last name of any kind, whereas bastards like Jon and Ramsay Snow are allowed theirs. Matt.
Actually, I believe that Ramsay's last name is Beach Sand.
No, I'm sorry, that is...
Wait, actually, Ramsay's last name is Bolton.
Yeah, that's not what we're going for, but that is actually technically correct. So I guess, fuck it, let's roll with it. Yeah.
Actually, they're all special boys, and they should all have last names, right?
They are all very special boys.
You know, it's a human life. They should have a last
Actually,
name.
there are girl bastards too.
That's true.
And they're
all
special girls.
I was just talking about Ramsay and Gendry specifically.
What we're also going for is that Jon Snow is not a bastard.
Oh, yeah!
We've been living with that reality for so long, it's hard to change gears, but hey, I call him a bastard. He's not a bastard.
No, he's not.
All right, this question is about Star Wars.
Yes!
Apologies to Matt. General Grievous, the droid general of the Separatist army during the Clone Wars.
Actually, it's bullshit that you're doing some prequel shit.
Oh, come on, like they're not canon?
Sorry, I'm here to be popular on the internet, dude.
Almost out of spite, we've done more prequel questions than we have original things. Like, we're gonna ask you about Gungans, because fuck you. Are you a real fan?
Yeah, you said you like Star Wars, asshole. General Grievous is in Star Wars.
How do you feel about Boss Nass?
Sorry.
That's all right, we'll allow the outbursts, we'll continue. General Grievous, the droid general of the Separatist army during the Clone Wars, while not capable of wielding the Force, was able to wield 4 lightsabers in his battle against Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Amy.
Actually, he was not the leader of the Separatist army.
He was a general of the Separatist army.
Okay.
Matt.
Actually, if I recall, his 4 lightsaber battle was with Yoda.
No, he fought Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay,
I believe Yoda fought Dooku, the most George Lucas-y name of all, Count Dooku. Murph.
Actually, he's not a droid.
That's correct.
He's got some human parts
He's always
too,
fucking
right?
coughing, yeah.
He's always coughing.
General Grievous is a cyborg. He's not a droid. He's
a very
lot
sick
of
robot.
parts.
I could care less.
Absolutely.
Trap, I actually really like that question now. It's actually a really good one.
Because you got it right.
Yeah.
We're moving into comics. Specifically, we're going to talk about X-Men. Mutations in the X-Men universe often bring incredible supernatural abilities, but it can also bring seemingly unrelated physical changes as well. Kurt Wagner received his ability to teleport, but also got fangs and a tail. Mystique, while she can change form at will, is in her natural form scaly and blue. Hank McCoy's mutation gave him super intelligence and beast-like strength and agility, but also a simian physicality.
Actually, Hank McCoy was already smart.
That's correct.
Yeah.
His mutation is not that he was super intelligent. He was already super intelligent, and he just mutated to be very strong.
I like that I sounded like an idiot. while explaining that. He was a smart guy.
It's very funny to like be already super smart, get the ability to be like super strong and agile, and be like, I'm fine with the lab. The lab's fine with me. Like, I know this happened to me. I know I have abilities no one else has. I'm sticking with the science. I got some grants to fill out. Brings us to our first shiny question. Shiny questions are, of course, like shiny Pokemon in that they are basically exactly the same. They're worth the same amount of points. They're just a little bit different and a little bit rarer. This is a game we call Cryptogeography. Monster folklore comes to us from all over the world. You have boards in front of you that will have a big map on it, and along the bottom, illustrations of monsters. We want you to match the monster to its place of origin on the big, big map and score a point. And go. Matt is buzzing in. Everyone else can continue working as long as you like lock in your answer. Matt, let's flip that around. All right.
I feel really, really good about this.
Okay. Murph, how you doing?
Real bad.
Let's everyone flip.
Finland has a lot of monsters, right?
Finland's chock full of monsters. Well, okay, so Matt, you were the first to buzz in. I think you have here 3 that are strong correct, 1 that I might allow a little wishy-washy, but possibly. I'm gonna look at Amy. You have like 2 and like the same kind of wishy-washy thing.
Okay.
Murph, you actually have 3 that are right. So we're just gonna like run through these real quick. The chupacabra, a lot of you put that in Mexico. Chupacabra actually originally from Puerto Rico. Murph, you're correct. The thunderbird should be from the American Southwest. I also love Murph.
All of my Finlands are wrong.
Well, your troll is in the right place. If you put everything in Scandinavia, your troll belongs there. I think everyone put the troll up there. Also, you're totally right. Bunyip. That's an Australian monster for sure.
How can you say it any other way?
Amy and Matt, you both got that Rakshasa is in India. The Kurupira belongs in Brazil. That is a little fairy boy with backwards feet who runs through the jungle to confuse people because his feet are facing the wrong way.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't-
confused, I'm horrified.
The Kishi is from Angola. That is a man with a hyena head on the back of his head. The Manangana, I'm not gonna be able to say this. The Mananangal is
well done.
a demon woman who can separate her torso from the lower part of her body and fly around independent of that. That is from the Philippines. The Baku is from Japan. Baku is also the inspiration for the Pokemon Drowsy, which is why it is
I
a
knew he
psychic
looked
type
familiar.
Pokemon. So Murph, you got 3. Matt, you had the Bunyip. You had the Troll. You had Rakshasa. I think your Baku's a little too far out to sea.
Oh, it was meant to be Japan.
Is it meant to be Japan?
It was, but I will respectfully leave it to you.
I mean, it's a little far out, but
Mine was also meant to be Japan.
it's clearly in Russia. You had Rakshasa, you had and the Troll, and the you know maybe the Chupacabra. So I'm gonna give Murph and Matt each a point. I'm sorry, Amy, you're 1 shy from
Oh my
having the
gosh,
time.
that's totally okay.
But there you have it. Some of the monsters of the world are many monsters.
This is a really fun game.
I like
Oh,
this
thank
one.
you. I'm glad we're having fun.
I can't believe I was rewarded for my behavior.
I honestly, it's shocking to me.
Truly
that-
ridiculous.
I haven't seen somebody use the just fill in all the C's on a Scantron thing. And
I was wrong on all of those.
We made some mistakes in the last episode, and you caught them. From our exclusive Dropout Discord, Scrungy Bungus says tieflings aren't only descended from demons, they can also be descended from any manner of fiends, including demons, devils, daemons, and a few others. Or you can have ancestors who made a pact with Asmodeus. At Jason Smith says, actually the protagonist of the game where you rescue the princess from Donkey Kong is known as Jumpman, an entity separate from Mario. Mario's first enemy is the Goomba you encounter on the first level of the NES game. Jason, I think it's well established that Jumpman and Mario are the same character, however the question was ambiguously worded, so I'll give you the point anyway. Jacob SH96 and Random Geek named Brent both brought up made-for-TV movies that do not feature Jedi as main characters. Those are, of course, the Star Wars Holiday Special and Ewok Adventure. Half a point for each of them to share however they see fit. And we're moving right along to our next question, which is about gaming. Vancian casting, named after writer Jack Vance, refers to a system in many games wherein a spellcaster prepares or memorizes spells and cannot swap out or rememorize spells without a full day passing or needing 8 hours of sleep. These spells alone can be used during that time period, even if the caster has access to other spells that they chose not to prepare, although they can cast their prepared spells as many times as they like. Matt.
Actually, they are limited on the number of times they can cast spells based on their level and which level of the spell it is.
That is 100% correct.
That's a perfect example of why it was so hard to convince people to play D&D. It's like, how do you play? Well, that.
Yeah.
And by that, they're like halfway out the door. Wait.
I did not even know you were talking about D&D. That's how hard that was. I was just like, spells, I know that word.
This question is about Super Mario Brothers. Though originally named Jumpman, the name Mario came about when Shigeru Miyamoto, the character's creator, named him after the company's landlord, Mario Segale, although the character goes only by his single appellation, Murph.
Actually, Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie is named Mario.
That's correct. Mario's full name is Mario.
Actually, I don't want to politicize this, but I'm very strongly in the no Sir Mario name camp here. I refuse to believe this.
So you're very anti-Mario surname, Mario.
Yeah, mainly because of the movie.
I think I was dumb enough as a kid that I loved it, and then realized later, like someone had to tell me it was bad. They're like, remember that awful Super Mario Brothers movie? And I'm like, yeah, dude, it sucked.
Brendan, do we have a hard citation? It's just for us to feel good.
2012, Shigeru Miyamoto said he has no last name. 2015, he retracted it, saying that his name is indeed Mario.
They got him in a room. They got that guy in a room alone.
It's like, does Mario have a last name? Yeah, sure. Guys, I have a meeting. I run Nintendo.
There is an interview that someone did before the new Zelda game came out where they were like, what's Link's last name? And they're like, Link. Fuck you. We now go to our second shiny question. This is a game called Rules Lawyer. There's one thing nerds love, it's rules. And no one loves rules more than Rules Lawyer. I'm about to show you a single round of combat in a game of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's littered with mistakes and falsehoods and rules violations. Assume that we have not left out critical information, such as if a character is multi-class, or if an unmentioned magic item would provide a given ability. Also, a single action that breaks 4 different rules for our purposes counts as 4 different mistakes. We're gonna run through this round of combat. I want you to identify as many mistakes as you can. Whoever can identify and name the most will get the point. All right, first panel here. Elbratha, the Goliath fighter, Una, the halfling rogue, Calliope, the elven wizard, and Omric, the dwarven cleric, face off against Pit Fiend and a Demi-Lich. Elbratha runs at the Pit Fiend, using her dodge reaction to avoid the devil's attack of opportunity before sinking her silvered axe into the Pit Fiend's chest. The Pit Fiend rolls initiative, casting Hold Monster on Elbratha, binding her in place before making its bite, claw, mace, and tail attacks on Omric. Omric calls on the power of Groomsh One-Eye, god of the Forge, using a 2nd level spell slot to cast Fireball, destroying the Pit Fiend. Calliope uses Benign Transposition to cast Invisibility on Una before drinking a potion of healing. The Demi-Lich uses its Howl attack on Una, missing due to her invisibility. It then casts Vile Curse with a legendary action, and Una fails her Charisma save. It uses a final legendary action to fly 30 feet straight up. Una uses her jump skill, rolling a nat 30, clearing the 30 feet to the Demi-Lich, and sneak attacks it. On her bonus action, she turns undead, utterly destroying the Demi-Lich, thus concluding this round of action. Now, there were a lot of mistakes in there. Matt, how many errors do you think you've spotted?
20.
All right.
Ooh,
Amy.
16.
16. Murph, how many do you have?
16.
All right. Matt, tell me what you've spotted that's wrong.
So first panels, I didn't see too much wrong with the art. However, a Demi-Lich classically is just a skull.
That's correct. A
It's not a
Demi-Lich
full-
is just a skull. This is a regular Lich.
Yes. Next panel, when you run towards something, you cannot use a reaction. Something has to trigger a reaction.
That's correct.
Plus, the devil does not get an attack of opportunity by running towards it. Only by leaving melee combat with it does it get an attack of opportunity. Mm-hmm. And Silvered Axe, as it is not a magical weapon, will actually not affect a Pit Fiend. I believe it is immune to all non-magical weapons.
He's good.
I don't have that one on my card, but Brendan is giving me a thumbs up. Was that on my card?
No, Matt found something that even the question didn't account for.
Great.
He's broken the game.
All right, next panel. The Pit Fiend rolling initiative now doesn't make sense since combat's already initiated. Mm-hmm. Next panel. Grimash One-Eye is not the god of the Forge.
That's correct. That is an orcish god. It's not the god of the Forge.
And then proceeding to use a 2nd level spell slot to cast Fireball. Fireball's a 3rd level spell. And also is not a cleric spell.
That is also correct.
And also Pit Fiends are immune to fire.
That
so
is
Fireball will
also
have no
correct.
effect.
I'm just happy with myself that I'm getting some of these. I'm like, oh man. I'm a young grasshopper, but I'm willing to learn.
You cannot cast ability and drink a potion in the same round. They're both technically actions. Next one, the Howl attack should still hit the rogue even if she's invisible.
Yes, that's correct.
Then Vile Curse as a legendary action. You can only use legendary actions at the end of play players' turns, and I do not believe Vile Curse has a charisma saving throw to resist. Probably Constitution.
It is a wisdom saving
Or wisdom
throw.
saving throw. Okay. Next panel. Jump skill. Jump is not a skill. Nat 30 is not possible. You would not be able to sneak attack the Lich.
That is correct.
And not only does the rogue not have Turn Undead as a capability, but it's an action, not a bonus action, and is incapable of destroying the Lich because it's too high level.
All three of those things are correct. I have 18 correct corrections there from Mr. Matt Mercer.
I am so excited.
I feel like we all learned something today.
There's something very satisfying about watching someone just be very good at something.
I mean, congratulations. Can he get like 5 points?
And as always, you get 1 point.
1 point. Yes.
It seems unfair that I got the same amount of points for my Star Wars answer.
Like, he's not a droid.
I was like, he's not a droid?
Look, this is the cruel mistress of this game. Is that
Exactly.
all challenges are worth 1 point. It doesn't matter how well you know it. It's like you forced your way through, 1 point. We make mistakes here too, and if you notice something that we got wrong, you can correct us by tweeting at @UmActuallyShow or getting in our exclusive Dropout Discord and correcting us on the Actually Corrections channel. Our next question is about H.P. Lovecraft. In The Hounds of Tindalos, Frank Belknap Long makes his contribution to the larger Cthulhu mythos with a tale of horrifying extra-dimensional creatures hunting a man named Halpin Chalmers, who seals every hole and opening in his home with plaster so the smoky monsters cannot slip through them while in gaseous form. Matt.
Actually, they are not smoke beasts. They are just able to transition through openings.
That's close enough. I'll give it. They're not smoke beasts, so the cracks don't matter. They're actually able to slip through corners of architecture and like just corners in space.
Just the idea that corners, like something that's so everyday, like that's totally Lovecraft. Like,
Yeah.
like they just look
Un-Euclidean
around and they're like, how do I make a finger scary?
Yeah, it's also very like Stephen King too, of just like what's scary? Cars, like trucks, that's scary. Like, oh, what if that was scary? Hey, we're gonna keep rolling through it. It's been working well for us. We got another D&D question for y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna get this
one's getting crunchy.
Has Matt gotten every D&D question?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
My crutch, guys.
D&D has been around for many years, and the streamlined version of the game that exists now was not always so. In 2nd edition, skills were known as proficiencies, and instead of attack bonuses, one employed their THACO, short for to hit armor class only.
To hit armor class 0!
That's correct!
I'm actually,
I'll give you the tail slate.
oh my god, I'm
Such
actually.
enthusiasm.
My heart immediately broke. I was like,
Thank you so much. I know that this is like
You caught your own actually before anyone else buzzed in, so you know what? You
oh my
caught
god,
it.
Midnight Amy came out. This is like why you don't play games with me. I'm so sorry. I'm less intense. No, I'm not.
So it stands for to hit armor class 0. Like, I remember I got in high school in 2nd edition, and for me, the whole THACO esoteric math idea helped me understand ideas of strange mathematical equations a lot more than anything else did.
Do you think if you had to right now, like you could explain to Murph, like this is how THACO works?
I could, but it'll destroy his love of D&D.
Yeah, I
Keep in
mean,
mind, I'm a slow learner.
when you say this is crunchy, it's like this isn't necessarily crunchy. This is just what 2nd edition was based on, and
Yeah.
it went away so fast.
Why don't we like do a brief explanation of how THACO works?
Okay, do you want to go?
Okay, so you're rolling against the armor class. That's still true. When you roll, if I had a 2-hit armor class 0, no, oh my god, it is like I see the chart in my head and I'm like filling it in like -9, -8.
This is exactly why it was so hard to get friends to play D&D back in the 90s.
This does not sound fun at all.
How do I play? Well,
Do you like negative numbers?
Yeah, no, you go.
oh man. So whatever your THACO was whatever you had to roll on the dice to hit somebody with an armor class of 0. So once you rolled the dice, you had the 0, and then you'd consider what their armor class was, and that would modify how difficult it was. So if they had an armor class of 6, you would take whatever you rolled, and you would...
So needlessly complicated.
On that point, we'll move on to our next question. This is our final shiny question. We have a row of bards here, and each of these bards has prepared a couple bars of a song from The Hobbit. So these are new melodies, but old lyrics. The lyrics should be recognizable. It's up to you to arrange these songs in the order that they appear in the book. So the way this will work is we'll start at the front of the line. At any point, any player can call next, and they will stop playing, and the next person down the line will start playing. Once you think you know you can arrange them in the right order, buzz in, and we'll arrange them by pointing. All right, are you all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bards, are you ready?
Yes.
First bard.
All right. 15 birds in 5 fir trees. Their feathers were fanned in a fiery breeze. But funny little birds, they had no wings.
Next.
Roads go ever, ever on, over rock and...
Next.
Oh no.
Word so boned.
Far o'er the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns
Next.
old.
Chip the glasses and crack the plates, blunt the knives and bend the forks. That's what
Next.
Vermin...
Clap, snap, the black crack, grip, grab, pinch, nab, and down, down to Goblin Town you go, my lad.
Actually, I think I have this.
All right.
You're the dwarves with the dumb plate scene. You're first. You convince Bilbo to go, then the road goes ever on and on, so you're second. The one that's tricking me up is the birds. You're in the mountain with Gollum. I'm gonna put you at the very end. You're kind of happy. All right, and you're the end, and he comes back and probably sings about food. So I'm gonna go with this.
All right, this is incorrect. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
That song about the birds got pretty dark. Is it like some kind of troll thing? There were some trolls in the middle, so I'm gonna put you in the middle. That jaunty goblin tune, that couldn't be at the end. You get the party going with the goblin tune. So I'll maybe swap you two last guys.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect too.
The trees are making me think of them up in the trees. I want to swap you after the goblin song. So you're going to be fourth, and you're going to move up third. And then, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay, I think this is still incorrect. So number one should be Blunt the Knives. The Song of the Lonely Mountain, which is over at the end there.
That's right,
Actually,
which
you
they sang at the
just
dinner
swapped.
table.
So
Right,
Song of the
right,
Lonely
right.
Mountain. Then, seemingly everyone's favorite, Down, Down in Goblin Town.
Love that goblin town.
Yeah.
Then 15 Birds and 5 for Trees. You were right. That was the part where after they've sort of escaped out of the mountains, but they're being hunted on wargs and escape into the trees. And then The Road Goes Ever On.
Oh, it's the last
It's our last song.
one.
You were very close. I think you only actually had one. You had The Road Goes Ever On in the wrong place. Thank you very much, Bard. That was no point for everyone. You may sing us a tune as you exit. And thank you again for being on board.
Play Journey.
As always, our final question concerns real-life skills. These are just skills for surviving IRL.
Yes, I don't have faith in myself.
While it's totally possible to cook meat solely by roasting it in the oven or boiling in liquid, many recipes will suggest that you first sear the meat in a pan over high heat in order to seal in the juices and keep your cut juicy and delicious.
Actually, I think searing it, just if you do it in butter, it adds flavor, and then it also just looks better.
That's correct. People say seal in the juices. Searing does not seal in the juices. It squeezes juices out. The whole point of searing is just for flavor and to make it look good.
Ooh, mama! Ooh, she's so
Real
good
skills?
at real skills. Forget it.
Our final score here, 4 for Murph, 3 for Amy, 5 for Matt, making Matt our winner today.
Oh, barely.
I am so happy that Matt's our winner. That impressive panel work was everything to me.
Yeah, if I won without getting any D&D questions right, it would have been a moral loss. So I'm happy to have lost.
That's it for our episode. Join us next time for more hyper-specific pedantic corrections on Actually.
Come on down to Goblin Town. Goblin Town to Goblin Town.